Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to 7th Street. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today you're going to get 7th Street Productions' top 5 Godzilla films.
Godzilla!
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of Godzilla. When I was a little kid, I started collecting the movies on VHS. I have them all on DVD now, but I still keep the tapes around. I guess I'm too sentimental to get rid of them. It's probably safe to say that Godzilla is the reason that I became interested in other genre films, which is why I became interested in acting, and because of that I became interested in filmmaking, and now here I am making YouTube videos about Godzilla. Talk about full circle, huh? Before I start this list, I would like to give an honorable mention to Terror of Mechagodzilla. Just barely squeaking in at the top of our list, we have Godzilla 1985. Godzilla 1985 is a reboot to the series, ignoring all other previous films except for the first one.
What's the big secret?
The big secret is Godzilla.
Godzilla?
This is one of only 3 films in which Godzilla doesn't actually fight another monster. Yeah, that's right. It's just Godzilla versus the military. A lot of people use this as a reason for why they don't like the film, but I've never really felt that way. Monster movies are always at their best when it showcases humans and all their military might pitted against an unstoppable force of destruction. The plot here is pretty simple. Godzilla returns after 30 years, and the world leaders scramble to find a way to defeat him. The best scenes in this movie are any of the scenes where Godzilla is fighting the tactical attack plane, the Super X. Coming in at number 4 is Godzilla vs. Gigan.
Well then, how's that? I think it stinks.
This is an odd one for me. If I think about it too long, I end up taking this one off my list. When I first saw it as a little kid, I liked it, but I wasn't nuts about it. When I was a teenager, I used to think of this movie as being the reason why people made fun of Godzilla films. It wasn't until I was a young adult that I became a fan of this one. I can't really explain it, but this one's grown on me. The plot centers around a race of giant cockroach aliens from the galaxy space nebula Hunter M who plan to take over Earth by using the monsters Ghidra and Gigan. You get all that?
Nebula Space Hunter M, huh?
You know it?
Huh? What? No, never heard of it.
The film features Godzilla and Anguirus squaring off against the space monsters in a tag team Royal Rumble for the fate of the human race. This is where it starts to get really tough. Number 2 and number 3 are interchangeable depending on my mood, but as of right now, number 3 is Ghidra, the three-headed monster. This could easily be the most important film of the series. Not only did it introduce King Ghidra, who would go on to be Godzilla's most popular enemy, but it single-handedly started the monster rumble that we have all come to know and love. The story centers around an alien that possesses a princess to warn the world of the arrival of the space monster Hedra.
Princess, stand up and leave this place. Leave this place. Faster, faster, quickly.
No, come back! Your Highness!
The only hope for humanity's survival is for Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan to team up against the three-headed beast. Coming in at number 2, you guessed it, Godzilla vs. Mothra.
Prepare to attack. On target. Ready for firing.
Okay, everyone puts this one on their list, but it's for good reason. Godzilla vs. Mothra is the perfect example of Toho at the top of its game. The whole film is so well crafted and sleek. I always thought that for 1964, the adult Mothra was such an ambitious-looking monster. After a massive typhoon hits the coast of Japan, Mothra's egg washes ashore. The egg is then stolen and exploited by the evil company Happy Enterprises.
Is approximately how many chicken eggs this is equal to. I took the wholesale price of one egg and just multiplied.
Sensing the presence of an enemy, Godzilla shows up and chaos ensues. I've probably seen Godzilla vs. Mothra more than I've seen any other movie in my life. When I was a kid, this movie was mandatory for Saturday nights. And finally, my number 1 favorite Godzilla film of all time, Godzilla vs. Hedra, aka Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster.
Animal, God's animal, don't go away, don't go.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, this one always ends up on everyone's least favorite list. But I still don't really understand why. Yes, it has an overly preachy anti-pollution message. Yes, the plot can seem a bit disjointed and incoherent at times. And yes, Godzilla does fly. But I love this film, blemishes and all. Hedra is a fantastic monster, and the fight scenes here are really well done. This is the one and only film in the series to be directed by Yoshimitsu Banno, who in my opinion is the most underrated of the Godzilla directors. He always added an element of social commentary into his film. You can really tell that he honestly believes in the message that he's conveying.
Bigger than Godzilla?
Oh, yes. So long as they dump sludge into the sea.
When I was a kid, there was only one video store in town that had a VHS copy of this film. I would force my dad to drive me across town just to rent it. When the store finally went out of business, I made sure that I bought their copy of the film. You know, I've never actually seen another VHS copy of this in person. But anyway, now I'm getting off topic. Godzilla vs. Hedra is my favorite of the series, hands down.
Our message is loud and strong. We're going to send it up higher.
In the words of Joe Bob, we have pollution monster foo, acid trip foo, kitten stuck in the sludge foo, and kaiju disembowelment foo. 4 stars. Check it out. Well, there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite Godzilla films of all time. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and make sure that you leave a comment below telling me how wrong I am and how much of an idiot I am.
Oh, you like Godzilla, right?
Superman beats them all.